Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Chase Chrisley, SLAPS dad, Todd, in medical facility. Todd and Julie Chrisley have reunited with their family since their presidential pardon granted them an early release. In a recent share from the family, Todd and his son Chase got into a bit of an altercation at a medical facility. Fans have also been sharing their reactions to the moment. Todd and Julie Chrisley were granted a presidential pardon back in May. Many viewers were introduced to the Chrisley family through the USA Network series, Chrisley Knows Best. Todd and Julie Chrisley, who married in 1996, have 3 children together: Chase, Savannah, and Grayson. In addition, Todd has 2 children from a previous marriage, Lindsay and Kyle. Back in 2022, Todd and Julie were convicted on a variety of charges, including bank fraud and tax evasion. Initially facing a combined 19-year sentence, the two were given an early release back in May thanks to a presidential pardon from President Donald Trump. Since his recent release, Todd has also been spending more time with his children. His son Chase recently shared a video on Instagram about the two of them, where he wrote, "Gotta let the old man know." In the video, Todd can be seen using his phone while sitting in a chair at a medical facility. When the phone goes off, Chase walks over, seeming to ask if he answered it. Unable to hear his father's response, the younger Chrisley asked Todd to repeat what he said. During his response, however, Chase gave Todd a few slaps in the face. Todd initially took the interaction with good humor. When Chase swooped in for another swat, however, Todd defended himself. The Chrisley patriarch asked his son, "You want to die? Do you want to die?" Fans also noticed an interesting sign right behind Todd and Chase. As Todd returned to his phone, however, Chase threw in one more light slap. This caused Todd to rise out of his seat. This appeared to get Chase to back off, as laughter could be heard in the background. Somewhat fittingly, a sign could be seen in the background reading, "We expect respect. We will not tolerate aggressive behavior." The video, which appeared to be all in good fun, inspired quite a few responses from fans. Many noted that Chase and Todd are making up for lost time since his imprisonment. Quite a few commenters joked that Chase should be careful when dealing with someone who has spent time behind bars. Some comments included, "It was supposed to be a quiet, uneventful day at the federal medical facility in Lexington, Kentucky, where Todd Chrisley is serving his sentence under reduced security conditions due to ongoing health concerns. But what began as a routine family visitation took a dramatic turn that has left insiders and fans reeling." According to eyewitness accounts and those close to the Chrisley family, Chase Chrisley stormed out of the visitation room after an explosive confrontation that culminated in him slapping his father across the face. Yes, you read that right. The golden boy of Chrisley Knows Best had finally snapped. Years of tension finally boil over. To understand the shocking incident, one must first trace the roots of the conflict. Ever since Todd and Julie Chrisley were convicted and sentenced for bank fraud and tax evasion, the family has been on an emotional roller coaster. Chase, who often played the carefree prankster on the show, has reportedly struggled with resentment, anger, and confusion in private. Sources close to the family reveal that Chase has long harbored feelings of betrayal, not just because of the prison sentences, but because of the intense pressure to uphold a perfect public image while the family was falling apart behind the scenes. Chase idolized his father, a former production assistant for the show shared. But behind the cameras, Todd was demanding, critical, and obsessed with control. Chase never really had the space to be his own man. According to another insider, Chase had been contemplating a confrontation for months. He wanted answers. He wanted an apology. But most of all, he wanted accountability, something Todd refuses to offer. The visit that went off the rails. The fateful visitation started off civil enough. Chase arrived with his fiancée, Emmy Metters, who waited in the car after sensing tension from a phone call the night before. Chase was granted a 2-hour slot to visit his father in a private meeting room. Initially, they exchanged pleasantries. Todd, still immaculately groomed even behind bars, tried to lighten the mood with jokes, but Chase wasn't in the mood. "You keep laughing like we're still filming a reality show," Chase reportedly said, his tone clipped and icy. "But this isn't TV, Dad. This is real life."
Todd,
The charismatic patriarch allegedly brushed off the remark. "Son, I did what I thought was best for our family. Everything I did was to protect you kids." That's when Chase reportedly leaned forward and said, "Protect us? Or protect your ego?" Witnesses say Todd's demeanor turned sharp, and his southern charm gave way to his famously biting sarcasm. "Don't you dare come in here and judge me, boy," Todd allegedly snapped. "You wouldn't last one day dealing with what I've had to manage." At that point, something in Chase broke. Years of pressure, public scrutiny, and buried trauma seemed to explode in an instant. He stood up, walked around the table, and with a sudden motion that startled even the guards outside, slapped his father across the face. The slap echoed through the corridor, followed by stunned silence. Fallout and security response. Officers quickly entered the room, separating the two men. Chase, visibly shaking, was escorted out of the facility but not arrested. Given that no serious harm was inflicted and it occurred during a high-emotion conversation, the facility decided not to press charges. However, Chase's visitation privileges are currently suspended pending review. Todd, meanwhile, reportedly touched his cheek and stared blankly ahead, stunned not just by the physical act, but by the fact that his golden child had turned on him so publicly and viscerally. "He never thought Chase would do something like that," said one insider. Chase was always the one he felt closest to, the one he thought would carry on his legacy. A public reckoning. Since the incident, Chase has remained silent, though sources close to him say he has no regrets. In fact, some suggest the confrontation was long overdue. "He didn't go there to hurt his dad. He went there to be heard," a friend of Chase said. "It just got out of hand. But it was real. The most real thing that's happened between them in years." Savannah Chrisley, meanwhile, is reportedly furious, not just at Chase for the outburst, but at the fact that the incident could complicate her ongoing media appearances and podcast, where she continues to advocate for her parents' innocence. She allegedly sent Chase a blistering text telling him, "You just made everything harder for all of us." As for Julie Chrisley, currently serving her sentence separately in Florida, sources say she was devastated by the news and cried upon hearing what happened. She kept saying, "This isn't who we are. This isn't who Chase is," an insider revealed. Fans react. Once the news leaked online, fans of the once beloved USA Network family were torn. Social media exploded with speculation, commentary, and polarized opinions. Chase finally woke up. "Good for him," one user posted on Reddit. "Todd manipulated those kids for years." Others were more sympathetic toward Todd, suggesting prison time and separation were already punishment enough. "No one deserves to be hit like that, especially by their own child," one fan tweeted. "Whatever Todd did, that's not the way." What comes next? The future of the Chrisley family remains uncertain. With Todd and Julie both incarcerated, and the children now fractured by legal battles, emotional outbursts, and public tension, the once glossy image of a perfect Southern family has officially shattered. But some insiders believe this could be the beginning of healing, at least for Chase. Sometimes it takes a slap to start a conversation, a close friend of the family mused. This wasn't about violence, it was about pain. Deep, generational pain that's been ignored for too long. Whether Todd will reflect on the confrontation with remorse or double down on his usual deflection remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, the days of curated reality TV smiles are over.